somebody requested way back earlier if we had any thoughts on the Jordan Smith Jr. thing.
Oh, I mean, to me, we kind of lost that a while ago. So, like, even I feel like it was during the stretch of what is it, the City of Palms, and then I think that's when Calipari started putting a blitz on. He was at every single Jordan Smith event. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm personally not mad that we didn't get him. I think my biggest worry and concern was we're gonna have, if we do have him, Rippy, Caden or Caleb and Jordan, we're gonna be a small team. We're a very small team, and we're gonna have a backcourt that's a little bit questionable with shooting.
More than a little bit. I mean, like that would have been a tough scenario. That was my biggest thing. I feel like once it became clear that Caden was not a one and done, which some people had been floating out in the offseason, right? And once it became clear that Foster is a player of value, and then once Rippy commits, then what does the team look like next year, right? Like if they're playing Cam at the 4, if you've got a 5 that isn't a stretch 5 but is like an enforcer inside 5, I mean, like there's a world in which your starters, I mean, like if Dame chose to come back, which I would love to have Dame back, let's be perfectly clear. There's a world in which the lineup could have been at points something like Caden, JSJ, Sar, Cam, and a 5. I mean, like that is a brutal shooting lineup. Yeah. It's an incredible defensive lineup, but it's a brutal shooting lineup. So even though I think he's a dog and I think he's a really, really good player, and like, is there a world in which I wish there was like a way to figure it out? Of course, but like, I think it's pretty clear once Rippy became a priority and once Rippy came to Duke, it's like, well, where are the minutes? Like where are the lineups that also have the shooting there that then make it make sense?
Right.
So he's a great player. He's going to be a great pickup for Arkansas.
This is my thing for Duke fans. Duke fans, we got to stop being so spoiled and greedy. Everybody know that we didn't necessarily need him with what we got coming in with Rippy. We know that Caden is coming back for the most part. We know Caleb is not going nowhere. We don't got but so many men. Everybody love Darren Harris so much. Like, it ain't but so much we can do. Like, you know what I mean? Duke fans just want everything, bro. Like, honestly, and like what you said, if you look at it, from a shooting perspective, it just would not have been. It would have looked good on paper, like the names would have looked really good. Mm-hmm. But, bro, y'all would have been so mad at that team next year. Like, y'all would have been so mad at that team.
Well, there's also the thing of course, we didn't need him because, like, Duke technically doesn't. Like, they have the resources. They don't need like any one individual guy. Like, even if there's a mass exodus after this year. Well, Duke has the resources to put together a really good team next year regardless, right? Like, and yeah, there's a world in which I feel very confident that we're returning at least one guard, if not 2, right? Like, so then what does it look like from there? Obviously, we'll be in the market for wings who can shoot, but like guys who are very, very good on this year's team are not like lottery picks. So I'm sure Duke will at least try to get guys back anybody who's not a lottery pick. I'm sure they're going to be like, let's make the big offer and let's see, right? Let's see if they want to stay, so like
but that's the thing too. Like, we know a lot of guys who's coming back.
Yeah. Like if you factor in the guys who could come back, well, then there's also just not a lot of minutes if all those guys come back. They probably won't all come back. Let's be clear. I don't think all of them will come back, but it's not impossible necessarily, at least from the eyes of like them. Whereas Arkansas, Acuff's not going to be there. Like they're seen like Ewan and Brazil, like, those guys are all going to be gone. So, like, I don't know.
And I think
a lot of sense for him. I think it sucks for us. I wish we could have made it work because I think he's a really good player, but like it's also just
it would have been weird. And it would have gone against everything Shire has been preaching, I guess, the past 3 years of having size at every position.
Yeah.
And even
I mean,
though
Smitty's wingspan is big enough and he's strong enough that, like, I don't think it would have been a big deal. But the shooting is the thing that would have been the really big deal. I mean, it would have been a pretty dreadful shooting team.
And honestly, bro, I did not want to have 2 freshmen in the backcourt on a team that is competing for a national championship. I just don't want that.
I think
we wouldn't have, to be clear, but like, I agree.
I just would rather have a more tenured guy like in there, like, so
that goes back to the point I was getting to, where Shire has kind of said, even on this podcast, that he wanted to decrease the recruiting classes. Honestly, if we got JSJ, I think that would have gone against that theory. But the fact that now we only have 3 guys who are probably going to play coming in as freshmen. Myers, a project, he's not. I
don't think he's gonna play. I watched him play in person in December. He's got some tools, but I don't think he'll play much.
Yeah, he's not gonna be ready for next year. But 3 guys, it's gonna be a first year where we're kind of gonna be skewing older. And I'm sure the portal will jump in the portal, especially for the front court, maybe even for some shooting as well. So I think having all of that and having maybe an older team next year, I think Duke will be in very good shape. Very good shape. And at this point, y'all got to just trust Shire with these rosters, because he cooked. Even this summer, we would have had Cedric Coward on this team. People forget that.
I remind people of that all the time when they get low on the portal. It's like, dude, he landed like the best guy in the portal. It just didn't work. It took a weird set of circumstances and it didn't work out. But the scouting was on the money, clearly.
He landed the best guy, and no one knew he landed the best guy until they saw him in the NBA. So
not even let us down with his roster construction yet. Not one time.
There's also, I think there's also a very strong chance. I mean, and again, it depends on everything else. But Shire's also said on this podcast, I do believe, that you have to recruit everybody, including your own guys, every offseason. He's going to have to figure out. So then that does mean you have a little bit of flexibility in terms of, how you can construct and how you can play. So I think there's a world in which Duke fans should not get used to the idea that retention is 100% every year. It's definitely not going to be. I'd be really surprised if it is this offseason. We're always going to be vulnerable, as every team is, to a surprise departure. But also, again, Duke has the resources to shop, man. I mean, they've got the resources, and I think that there's if you have Caden as your point guard and you've got Cam and you've got a traditional center, you want 2 guys that can shoot at the 2 and 3, you just do. I think, generally speaking. So I don't know. I think it'll be a really interesting conversation for the offseason. Obviously, how the season ends will determine a lot of things in terms of who might be back, who Duke would prioritize coming back. A lot of those questions are sort of TBD. But I mean, it's JSJ is a really good player. Is the bottom line, and it sucks that it's just the construction's not quite right. It just is what it is. It makes sense for both parties, I think.